Chapter 12. Sitting comfortably propped up on pillows, Clooney sipped a beaker of barley wine as he listened to the improbable tale spun by Sela and Fangburn. They both fidgeted nervously during the course of their deceitful narrative, trying desperately not to contradict one another, while at the same time avoiding the cold, impassive eye of the warlord.
It was like this, Chief, Fangburn stammered. Me and old Redtooth were keeping our eyes on the fox here when suddenly Redtooth hears a noise in the woods, so off he goes to investigate.
Where was the noise coming from? Snapped Cluny. The deceivers spoke together.
North,
said Sela.
West,
said Fangburn, simultaneously.
Yeah, it was sort of northwest.
Sela gulped, realizing how foolish she sounded. Knowing that Cluny was smarter than either of them, she wished she didn't have this big dumb rat to corroborate the story.
So, Redtooth went off to see what the noise was.
Sela faltered.
We told him not to go, sir, but he insisted.
Cluny watched Sela's leg shaking. Go on. What happened then? He murmured. Fangburn took up the tale again.
Well, you see, Chief, he was gone an awful long time. We both called out to him, but there was no answer.
So we both went to look for him,
said Sela. Cluny toyed with the beaker. His eye bored into the fox.
We searched and searched, sir,
Sela mumbled,
but all we could find was this big stretch of marshland and bog.
Which Redtooth had wandered into and been sucked down, never to be seen again. Cluny supplemented. Sela kept wishing the floor would open up and swallow her. Fangburn sobbed brokenly. Our poor friend Redtooth, gone forever. Yes, our poor friend Redtooth, Cluny agreed sympathetically. Suddenly, his voice hardened as he shot a question at Fangburn. You! How did your face get knocked about, and where did you get those long scratches from? Sela jumped in hastily.
He walked into a big thorn tree, didn't you, Fangburn?
But, yes, I was dashing about and I didn't see it, Chief. The fox can tell you. She saw it, and if she didn't, well, I already told her,
said Fangburn, his voice trailing off miserably. Cluny laughed mirthlessly, his fangs showing yellow and sharp. So, you walked into a big thorn tree and got 2 black eyes, a torn ear, and your whole hide covered in long scratches. Fangburn stared at the floor. He had to swallow twice before he could answer, his voice subdued. That's what happened, Chief. Cluny's tone was laden with sarcasm. And then I suppose that 3 little pigs with wings flew down and gave you a toffee apple each?
Yes. What was that, Chief?
Ouch! Fangburn hopped on one leg as Sela kicked his ankle to silence him. You, fox! Cluny snarled. Where's the special herb you went to search for? Sela was completely nonplussed.
Special herb?
Cluny hurled the beaker. It bounced off Fangburn's nose, splashing barley wine over them both. Get out! Out of my sight! Before I have you tortured and roasted! Cluny roared at the unlucky pair. There was an undignified scramble. The door slammed shut behind the conspirators. Cluny lay back and smirked. Everything was going according to plan. He had lost Redtooth, but what the devil? Redtooth had been an ambitious rat. Cluny only admired ambition in one rodent, himself. Far off in Mossflower Wood, The night breezes stirred the treetops gently. The moon rode in a cloudless sky, its pale light filtered through the waving foliage to create the beautiful but strange effect of a shimmering, swaying carpet on the woodland floor.
Asmodeus, Asmodeus.
The covering of dead, moonlit vegetation on the ground trembled and rustled. What better cover than a light breeze and a hunter's moon? Glittering black eyes searched the night. A forked tongue tasted the air. The small living plants appeared to shudder as the long, scaly body brushed by them, trailing its way along.
Asmodeus, Asmodeus.
Softly rustling, deceptive as the speckled shadows, the huge adder roamed his domain. Patience and stealth were acquired by long experience. Sometimes the serpent would lie totally inert, awaiting the unsuspecting paw that trod too close. Other times it would raise itself, uncoiling to look into bushes for eggs and birds on the nest. Some nights it was lean hunting. Many creatures sensed the approach of the slithering evil, or scented its dry, musty, death-like odor. The snake had often gone hungry at times like these, but patience and stealth. Patience and stealth. A lesson soon learned is a meal soon earned. At the foot of the sycamore, the adder stretched itself alongside the still form of Redtooth. Well, an unexpected bonus. This was another rat that could not scurry off. No expenditure of venom or hypnosis needed. How fortunate! The huge reptile coiled itself languorously around the dead rodent.
Asmodeus, Asmodeus.
No need of burial parties. Nature and the woodlands took care of their own funeral arrangements. There was but one efficient undertaker. The adder's jaws opened in something resembling the nightmare of a smile. The pathway to eternity was open.